this video, we're going to be talking about the percent of a number. So we're going to first look at about a percent equation, then we're going to talk about our percent proportion, and then we're going to practice writing a proportion and then solving for our question. So the percent equation for A is P percent of W is written as A equals P times W, but sometimes that's referred to as is equals percent times the of. Now the percent proportion for A is P percent of W is A over W equals P over 100. Now sometimes that is called the is over of equals percent over 100. I actually prefer the is over of equals percent over 100 because it's a lot easier to find the numbers I need. So let's take a look at our examples. So here we have write a proportion and solve for the question. So it says, well, we're going to need a proportion. So let's go ahead and let's create a proportion. So a fraction bar, equal sign, fraction bar. Then we're going to have the 100 on the bottom because that's going to be there. And now we're going to go ahead and it says what number is. So we need to find our is, our of, and our percent. So I'm going to find my percent first. It's usually the easiest thing to find because it either has the percent symbol or the word percent. So 120 is going to go into my percent spot. And now I need to find the word is. So I'm going to find the word is, and the number that comes before it is going to be in my is spot. So it says what number? So that's going to be my variable, my x. Then I'm going to find the word of, and whatever number comes after the of goes into the of spot. Then from here, I can look and see what can I do to solve this equation. Now looking at this, I see that I just need to get the x by itself, so I just need to get rid of the 70. So I can multiply both sides by 70 so that those cancel out. And that's going to leave me with x, oops, that's an ugly x, let's try that again, with x equals, and then I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to plug it into the calculator to get my answer. So if I plug that into a calculator to get my answer, I'm going to get 120 over 100 times 70, and I'm going to see that my answer is 84. So x equals 84. So when it says what number is 120% of 70, that answer is 84. So let's try our next problem. Again, we're doing our proportion, so let's go ahead and let's set up our proportion. We know we need the 100. We're going to find our percent, and we're going to go ahead and write down 0.5. Remember, we don't need the percent symbol. Then we're going to find our word of, and whatever comes after it is going to go in the of spot. So it says what number, so we're going to write an x down. So we'll put our x there. Then we're going to find our is, and this time says is 12, and so that tells us that our 12 is going to go in our is spot. And here, I see that my x is in the denominator, so this time I'm going to solve by cross multiplying. So I'm going to multiply my x and my 0.5, and I'm going to set that equal to 12 times 100. So that's going to give me a 0.5x equals 1,200. So to get the x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 0.5. So those cancel out. And I'm going to be left with x equals 2,400. And I got that by plugging into my calculator 1,200 divided by 0.5. And so this is my answer. Let's try another one. So here we have 45 is what percent of 60. So let's set up our proportion. We're going to put our 100 down. So we're going to find the symbol of percent or the word. We found the word. And because the what came before it, that's going to be our x. Then we're going to find our of, and the number that comes after it goes in our of spot. We're going to find our is, and it says that 45 is our is. So here we can see that the x is in the numerator, which means that we just need to get rid of that 100. So if we multiply both sides by 100, we'll cancel out those 100s right there, and then we can just plug this into the calculator to get our final answer of what x equals. So if we plug that into the calculator, so again, if I took 100 times 45 over 60 and plug that into the calculator, I would get a 75 for my answer. So let's look at our last example. So here we have what percent of 300 is 51. So we need to have our proportion and our 100 because we know it goes there. So we need to find either the word or the symbol for percent. So here we found the word, and in front of it is the word what. So that tells us that that's going to be where x goes. Then we find the word of, and whatever comes after it goes into the of spot. Then we find our is, and that number goes in the is spot. And this problem is kind of like the last one. We just need to get rid of that 100. So we're going to multiply both sides by 100 here. So our 100s will cancel out there, and we're going to plug in 100 times 51 divided by 30 to get our answer. And when we plug that into our calculator, we're going to get a value of 170, and that is our answer. So that's how you can write a percent proportion and then solve to find your percent of a number.